Hey everybody, it's Mark Yegge. Welcome back to another weekly stock market update. I'm in the afternoon, beautiful afternoon here in Porto Idra, Greece. So some people like to know that. I don't know why I say it, but some people like to know it. So anyway, having a great time, and I hope you are too. Listen, it's been a phenomenal week. I'm going to show you some of these charts. And, you know, I've been saying since January that we're in a bull market. I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes, but sometimes there's a lot of news. And if we listen to the news, we're usually going to be wrong, right? So we've got to listen to our systems, right? This is a probability based game, right? It's like going to Vegas. You know, there's no guarantees you're going to win, but there's a little teeny weeny guarantee that you're going to lose if you sit there long enough. So the house has the probability on their side. That's why they have such beautiful buildings and all those people working there. And I can tell you, it's not built on the winners, it's built on the losers, and the losers don't have the probabilities on their side. And in our game, when we're talking about the stock market, we're talking about listening to the news. And if you listen to the news, they're just selling ads. They're not in the stock market game very well, right? Like if you watch this Fast Money show, which is fine because you can learn stuff, but you get a smart guy on the left side of the screen and a smart person on the right side of the screen, and they have opposite views about whether you should buy or sell Apple. Like, how is that helpful, right? You've got to figure out your own system. It's your money. You might as well take control of it. You know my saying, never give up your power in your health, your wealth, or your time. That's my little rant to start this off today. But let's go into the market, and I'm going to show you what the heck is going on in this crazy market. And it's great, right? Right now, it's great. So making money is great. Hopefully you're doing that. Let's talk about it. Right now, in the market indicators that we use, we do time the market. It's right about 80% of the time. We got 4 green lights. We went green 3 days ago, and we are green. Anything could happen, and we could change. But right now, the trends and the probabilities favor the green side. And so we are green. You got to listen to that. And we always say, when it's green, you got to be in the market. You can't be waiting because there's still bad news. There's always going to be some kind of news, some kind of fog over the state of New York, or some kind of train crashing, or some kind of bomb going off somewhere, or some school shooting. You got to ignore all that noise, right? Because that noise is not the market. The market knows what's going on. I'll show you in a second. The NASDAQ is, look at this channel that I drew on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is a chart that you want to be in. This is like a textbook chart. So you see that little red channel that I drew on the side? That's where the NASDAQ has been trending for the last several weeks. And so it goes in that trend. It's an uptrending channel. It had a breakout at 12,269. And after that breakout, it's been nothing but let's go up. And if you had been watching that or been watching the weekly market updates, you know I've been making a comment that the NASDAQ is leading everything else, right? And now everything else is starting to come along. I didn't know if it was going to go that way. Usually they kind of pull each other back. In this case, the NASDAQ pull everybody up. Will it last? I don't know. I don't know anything. All I know is that I don't know, but I can play the probabilities. That's the key. So now we've got the S&P 500 index. Look at that index. It had a gap up 6 days ago, little gap up today. It's trending higher. All systems are go. It's above all the major moving averages. Giddy up. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Dow Jones Industrial actually has turned into the weaker one, but it's doing well. 4 out of 5 of the last several days going up. 6 out of 7 of the last days going up. And so this one wants to go higher. They all want to rip a little higher. Why? The Fed's going to print more money. When the Fed print more money, you know what happens? Hard assets go up, soft assets go up, right? You want to be in assets, right? That's why they always say the rich get richer when the Fed prints money, because the rich own assets. And stocks are assets. So if you don't own stocks, you don't own real estate, you don't own gold, you don't own Bitcoin, you're at a disadvantage. And unfortunately, people that don't have a lot of money are at a disadvantage. Poor people get screwed when the Fed raises rates. So you see it on the charts, right? I'm not making this stuff up. You see it on the charts. It's obvious. The Fed is going to print money. They have to. We're in a debt spiral. Long stories. You can listen to my podcast if you want to hear more about that. All right. The New York Stock Exchange Composite Index, weaker than the other 4 indexes that I showed, right? Or the other 3. And it's weak because they've got a lot of bank and they've got a lot of oil in it. But even this one is 7 out of 8 of the last sessions. It's been going up. So everything is rocking and rolling. Everything is moving up. Even though this isn't still in technically a downtrending chart, it's also turning the tables. Everything's above the 50, everything's above the 200-day moving averages. And now looking at the volatility index is an inverse index. It's like does the opposite of what the market is doing. Let's call it the fear index. And so as the fear index goes down, that gives people the confidence to get back in the market, right? So this is at a record level, like on the downside. Now, this is also an index that reverts to the mean. You got to remember that. But right now, it's telling us that the emotional direction of the market is up because the fear index is down. So less fear, more money shoveling into the markets, right? And this is interesting because everybody's like, oh, the housing market's going to crash. What are we going to do? Well, I'm putting up the housing index right here. Look at that index, right? Had a gap down, came around, filled the gap, gapped up. Now it's at record levels, looking really good. People are buying houses. When the Fed has to print money and they have to lower rates, which is going to happen probably in the second half of the year. I've been talking about it for a long time that it's coming. I just haven't been able to time it. Like, when is it coming? We know it's coming now. I think it's probably the second half of the year. Might happen sooner, might happen later. We know it's coming. They got to do it, period. They're backed into a corner. All right, Apple, look at this beautiful textbook chart. Not much I could say about Apple, except they keep making new products. They got this Apple Vision thing they put out. They put out some M2 chip. They got all these little revenue streams they're making. Like, this is a stock that just keeps going up. Yes, it has corrections in there. If you saw my video last week, if you were on my mastermind call, I talked about how sometimes there are months where it goes down. Yeah, but if you can hang in there and you can do what we call the cash flow machine and create reliable income, you can hang in there forever and you can achieve 100x your money, right? So that's Apple. Look at Tesla. Tesla having an incredible week, breaking out through that 207, 208 level. And every one of the last 2 weeks of trading, every day has been up. Every day. Like this, somebody knows something. And they believe in this alien, Elon Musk, that he's just able to pull out some amazing things. And he is, like, right? If you study the stock and if you've listened to anything that I say about Tesla, about all the things they're doing, this is an incredible company. All right, enough from me. I hope that helps you. Those are our two biggest stocks in our mastermind group. Listen, if we can help you, make safe, reliable income every week using our cash flow machine system, reach out to us. You can send us an email. You can comment on our videos. We're always watching. We want to help you. Sometimes you're not ready, and that's cool. Sometimes you are, and we want to help you. So, that's what we're here for. And I'd rather help people and try to change the world that way than do other things. This is kind of what I'm supposed to do. And I help people learn a system that only Wall Street really kind of knows and understands. We go really deep in this cash flow machine system, which is a modified covered call strategy. And we go into like what happens when the market goes down, when it goes up, what happens when the stock goes down and goes up, how do you roll your positions, all these things that other systems don't talk about. We go into real depth about them. Anyway, enough for me. I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. Go hug your kids, go hug your spouse, people you love, and just make sure that you remember that it's more than money, and never give up your power and your health, your wealth, or your time. Thanks for being here. See you next time on the weekly market update. Take care. Bye.